everyone, I'm Trey with the First Date Fix, and today I want you to do something. Fall in love with someone who has a smile that lights up the room. As soon as you see them walk in the room, you turn around and you think to yourself, oh goodness gracious, this person is incredibly attractive. This kind of person is going to be in your life when, no matter what happens, when you're down, when you're having issues at work or with your family or with friends, just that smile alone is going to make a difference, is going to make you happier, is going to make you come outside yourself and want to be a better and more positive person. Fall in love with someone who respects your time and cherishes every single moment with you. They couldn't even imagine being late in terms of when they come to meet you for any kind of date, because they cherish their time with you so much, because every moment is special. No matter what happens, they love spending time with you. You could be walking in the park, you could be just sat on the sofa cuddling, you could be just sat on the bench not saying anything, and your mere presence are moments enough together. Fall in love with a person who looks in your eyes and you look in their eyes, and you know at that moment that they choose you, that they've fallen for you, that you're falling for them. And there's not a single thing on this earth that can come between that moment that you two are sharing as you're directly looking into each other's eyes and not saying a single sentence. Fall in love with a person who loves your goofy, stupid laugh, whether it be your witchy cackle or your awkward chuckle or your deep bass laugh or your obnoxious, loud laughter that makes people turn around in the shopping mall and do this. You're like this. Fall in love with someone who respects you for who you are and what you bring to the table. They respect how you treat other people. They respect how you treat yourself. And they respect you as a person, as a good human being. Fall in love with someone who still loves you after a fight, who doesn't immediately think, oh my goodness, it shouldn't be this hard. We shouldn't be together anymore because we have a disagreement or because we have a fight or we have an argument. Fall in love with someone that loves you so much that they're gonna stop texting and give you a call and fix that argument. That loves you so much, even when you don't want to speak to them, they still want to speak to you. Fall in love with someone that's going to be with you, no matter how hard life gets between the two of you. Fall in love with someone who will work through issues together. They don't come at it from a place of you did this or you did that. They come at it from a place of, I'm sorry you're this angry. What can I do to help? They come at it from a place looking at things that they might have been able to do better, even though you're the person who might have screwed up. Fall in love with someone who wants to grow with you and work through those issues that you have and that they have. Fall in love with someone who wants to fix the trauma that you both have together. Fall in love with someone who disagrees with you fairly, who doesn't want to fight dirty, who is allowed to have a completely different point of view than what you have, but doesn't do it in a way that belittles you. Doesn't do it in a way that makes you feel stupid, doesn't do it in a way that is disrespectful, that you can have a disagreement with and not completely resent that person, that you can have a disagreement with and you still know that you love the out of that person. Fall in love with someone who listens, and they listen in a way that they don't have to offer solutions. They'll just listen and they'll tell you how much they love you, no matter what. Fall in love with someone who listens not to give you a response, but to just make sure you feel like you've been heard. Fall in love with someone who listens to you for clarification, to understand exactly where you're coming from. Fall in love with someone who listens and will always listen to your 20, 30 minute, maybe even an hour rant, because they just want to be there for you, because they love you so much. Fall in love with someone who's not perfect, that makes a ton of mistakes, but they always acknowledge them. They always talk about the things that they could do better. They ask for your help. They know they're not perfect. And when they make mistakes, they actively pursue the actions that it's going to take. That's a person you want to fall in love with. Not the kind of person who makes mistakes and doesn't actively try and change, or doesn't acknowledge them and absolves himself from any kind of mistreatment. Fall in love with someone who can say sorry, who can look in your eyes and say sorry with honesty and a sincerity of heart, that you know they generally are sorry and they do want to be better because they love you. Fall in love with that person who's going to call you out when you're doing silly things that just aren't who you are, because they know the kind of soul that you have and they want you to be better. Fall in love with someone who wants to grow together. Individual growth is incredible and it's critical for any relationship that wants to survive. But never forget about growing together. And what I mean by that is growing through hardships in life, growing through big disagreements, growing through arguments, growing through things that you possibly didn't know that they went through before, but you love them enough to acknowledge that and help them push through that moment. Growing through trauma, growing through family issues, growing through personal issues, growing through dreams crushed that perhaps were never realized. Grow with someone. Fall in love with someone who actively wants to grow with you. Fall in love with someone who loves life and people. Most people are inherently good. Despite what the news tells you, we are surrounded by billions of people who generally are good, who want to put good back into the world. Fall in love with someone who acknowledges that. Fall in love with someone who sees the positive side of the human race. We do a lot of messed up stuff, but for the most part, people are great when you really start to get to know them. When you open yourself up to those vulnerable, real, and genuine, authentic connections. Fall in love with that person who loves people and they love life. They love the significance of a sun going down on a gorgeous 80-degree day. They love the significance of waking up in the morning and having a brand new day and being able to accomplish something new, different, impactful. Fall in love with someone who loves their friends and families, who cares about the environment, who cares about the world that we live in. Fall in love with someone who has deep passion and purpose. They could just be a painter on their off time after work, but it's something that they're passionate about and it gives them purpose. Fall in love with someone who loves working for that non-profit because it's what gets their mental cogs turning. Fall in love with someone who's passionate about their religion. Fall in love with someone who is so passionate about giving back to a specific niche that they've grown up knowing about. Fall in love with someone who has a relative or sibling with a disability, and on their off time, that's what they dedicate most of their time to. Because that's what makes an incredible human being capable of the deepest amount of love. Fall in love with a goofball, okay? Someone who is a complete dork. Those are the best people. You want to know why? Because they're not afraid to be themselves. No matter where they are, no matter who they're with, they're always going to be their big, goofy, dorky self. Those people are the salt of the earth. Fall in love with them. Fall in love with someone who is so self-reflective. No matter what happens, they're always thinking about different things that they can change, things that they can do better. Acknowledges where they might have gone wrong in specific discussions that you have, good or bad. Or perhaps wants to be a better brother, a better sibling, a better lover, a better friend. Fall in love with that person who is self-reflective, where you know year after year they're going to change, and only for the better. Fall in love with someone's body and how your body feels when you two are connected, when you have that moment, that level of intimacy that only you two share. Fall in love with that. Fall in love when you take their clothes off and you think to yourself, wow, I can't believe this is happening right now. Fall in love with someone that makes you feel like an 18-year-old when you're making love. Fall in love with someone where you have those moments of intimacy that completely blow your mind and you think no one could possibly ever do what we are doing. Fall in love with a person's character and how much they inspire you to be your best self. How much their mere presence and character and how long they've spent developing it their whole life makes you want to be a better person. And most importantly, fall in love with you. You're a good person. You have so many things you need to improve on. We all do. But the moment you fall in love with yourself and realize that, hey, I'm not perfect, I have an abundance of things I need to do, and you start working on who you are to become that person that you want to fall in love with, good Lord, things will change in your life. I love you guys, sincerely, all of you, and I hope that in 2021 or now, COVID be damned, okay, you find a way to find that person that you are supposed to fall in love with. You deserve to be happy. Now, if this generally inspired you and you felt like I generally put some positive oomph into your day, give me a follow, give me a subscribe. I'd love to have you and be part of this community that I'm trying to build to make sure that we put far more positivity into the dating sphere and really get who we deserve to be with. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.